What's up, everybody? I'm Novo coming at you with another one. Been away for a while, been kind of busy, but I thought we would check in on ACDC to see how we are doing. And it looks like we've got base kicking around 45.5 cents. We do have some higher high candles, but the wicks are still showing that the argument is trying to push down. If we stretch this out, um, it's debatable on whether this is an A, B, and a C wave. We do have a double bottom, and as long as we don't touch or break down, then it looks like we are about to start heading back to the upside. Flipping over to bars, you can see these are all green accumulation candles. APO and MACD are above the zero cross, so we're not showing red candles and weakness. However, the zone of concern that I'm still looking at is from the previous uh, all-time high plus the gap fill and where price has bounced, right? So um, I think I bought back in around 45 cents or so, and we got down as low as 37. So now we're waiting to see. Basically, what's going to happen is these pullbacks are not going to be as deep. They'll become shallower and shallower as we consolidate going up, right? So you'll see that zigzag sort of thing. And then we'll test, possibly form a handle down to, I don't know, maybe 60 to 75 or so before we try and punch for a higher high. If we use a GAN fan from here or to there, you can kind of see how the movement, let's go full screen. If I clear my throat, I apologize. I still have junk in the lungs. Just doesn't seem to want to clear out. So you can see as time goes by, um, the angle of recession becomes shallower and shallower. And I think once price breaks out of this line here, the 1/8 or the 8/1, let's do 8/1 as, I don't know, yellow. Okay. Once we break past that, I think you'll start seeing a little bit more momentum push faster to the upside. But basically, that's the math, right? The algos are basically trying to weed out slow players. Now, where are the higher lows going to happen? Not sure, but we can guesstimate as long as we don't pass that line there, quite possible. But I would be more in tune with that line like so. So we could see maybe a bounce. What is that, 43.5 or so? And that's right around the date that we were thinking that maybe this thing will start pushing to the upside. We do have higher highs. We had a lower high here. That was kind of like a zigzag. Now we've got a zigzag down. This looks like it might be a zigzag back up, and we need to break the 58.5. So I don't know if there's any news on this. Nothing new. February 8th. Blah, blah, blah. Aside from that, I think my position on this is going to go to sleep and I'll start looking for the next one. So I took profits, I bought back in, I've accumulated and compounded, and now I'm just going to wait for this thing to try and break out and head on up. I'd like to see, well, from here to wherever the bottom is, I'd like to see 100% move, right? To the upside. That would be the next target. So if this is going to be the depth of the bowl, let's delete this for a second. And and we were to bring this up here, yeah, that puts us around our, I think we were looking at 146 before. Because we went a little deeper, we could even push up to 156, but a conservative 146 still looks good to me. Um, this looks like it's going to take a little bit longer. There is, I mean, there are some green volume candles collecting, but we still have more red than green. And it would be nice to see like 2 or 3 days of green and then maybe a red one, and then to see if we jet off. So we'll have to wait and see after this date. I think this is the date that we'll be watching for still, mid-March. I think mid-March is when directions on the smart money will tell us where we're going. Now that's for EVs and batteries, but you should probably look at oil as well. Once summer comes, I'm sure that oil stocks will be flying sky high as well. So, anyways, this is the line that I'm watching as we still contribute to see if we do another bounce down here. I'm hoping that we're done. If it goes down here, I might nibble again. But technically, I don't want the price down here anymore. I want to see the consolidation push back to the upside. On the weekly, we'll go to Japanese candles. And I'm going to turn off APO MACD. Oh yeah, the RSI as well didn't quite come down. That's why I'm wondering if we're still going to come down, or if this thing turns off and then we go back to good health on momentum to the upside. But yeah, we've got some indecisive, looks like some dojis, and then a sell-off. That's why we're looking for a new base point where we're going to push up. But we do have the buyers are hanging out here, right? Let me have a quick peek at level 2. So 3 price points come to mind here. Oh, it was 250, but it just jumped up to 300,000 shares waiting at 45 cents. So where are we? Yeah, it just keeps going up and down right about there, right? Let's push this up to 45 for a sec so you can see visually. Coordinates. 0, 5. Yeah, and it's in the wick territory. Okay. And then below that, and we got 100,000 at about 44. And then we've got 200,000 at 43 and 42. So, like, that's almost, what do we got? It's like a million shares from 45 to 42. Let's go down to 42. Actually, let's do 45 to 42. We'll create that box where we see all the bids in. Okay. So the bids all seem to be right there, and it's above these wicks. So that's a good thing, I think. That seems to be where the buys are. Now, if you're in and you're looking for a cheaper deal, I don't know if I would go 45. I would probably aim for 42. And if you don't get it, you're in a better position anyway. If you do get it, you lower your position and you can take your upper positions off. The ceiling for me, looking at level 2 again, looks like 50 to 52. 50 cents, we got almost 450,000. 51, we've got 350,000. And then 52, we've got almost 900,000. 52, where are you? 48. So basically, we got to punch through Got to punch through that ceiling in order to go higher, and you can see that that is where we had a previous green close. Okay. Once we do that, I think our next stop obviously is going to be the next red open, which is at 55. But this will be slow moving unless there's a news catalyst. So we're still on the pullback. We do have some long wicks of accumulation. So that's the argument. This is the real story here, right? But that's the argument. There are buyers and sellers waiting to flip down here, and the selling pressure is pushing us down to that zone. Going to daily. Yeah, that's basically the grind, right? Lots of red candles pushing down, pushing down. Um, just that this one green candle tried is a pretty good move. Basically broke above that move, and we're coming back down to find base. What is that? 43. So 43 was the close. Well, it's not quite the. Sorry, 43 was the open. And 43 is kind of in between. Well, that's that 200,000. So the 200,000 at 43, and then another 200,000 at 42, basically hanging out just under the wicks here. So it could be that we come back down and we test there, unless a big player comes in and starts pushing that 45-cent level as base and accumulation, and then moves the price back up. Anyway, I don't have much else to discuss on that. This is basically going to be a waiting game for ACDC. I'll leave it in the portfolio, and I will be waiting for the next move on this thing. Probably set an alarm for a break above the $1 mark, and then the next thing would be to shoot up around past 140. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, that's it on ACDC. Unless we start seeing a turn of events right around that date that we were thinking about, it might even be, I mean, it might not be exact. This is kind of a little bit off. I was looking at, I think it's something around there, but mid-March anyway. Yeah, so that's it. So we shall make the thumbnail a little bigger and cleaner. Get rid of that. Actually, that would be really nice right there. You can see that intersection, right? So what is that? 44 cents. Yeah. That might be the bounce there. Anyways, trade safe.